Thank you for calling the Norman transcript. If you know your party's extension, you can dial it at any time. Or the operator, press 0. Thank you.
Norman transcript, how can I help you?
Howdy. Can I get copies of the More Monitor or More American at your office?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. Well, the website points to you. Looks like your company bought the paper around the time people in More quit buying the paper. So,
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Let me see if we do. You said the more what?
Yeah, boy. That tells me what I need to know. Thanks.
Sorry about that.
Good afternoon, Edward.
What's up, Scott?
Not much. Before we get started, we hit a milestone this week with listeners. Thank everybody for their support. It's just fun to do. And Edward, you have killed it as co-host. I appreciate your work here.
It's great to work with you.
Well, thanks to everybody for listening again. And it's overwhelming, the support. I appreciate it.
Which country are you biggest in, Scott?
Well, I'm biggest in the US, but I've got listeners in Brazil.
Oh, Brazil.
Mexico.
I knew they were going to love you down in South America.
Well,
I knew it.
My Portuguese is rough, but I'm well liked.
Okay.
We've got one in Japan, and I think that's because it's probably a sumo culture, and fat guys are, they pay by the pound there. So,
wow.
Got Wales, we've got Germany, New Zealand, a couple of listeners in England. It's been that part's been surprising, and probably user error.
Oh, honey, I picked the wrong podcast again.
Yeah, I was gonna do an accent, but I'm not gonna. I'm cursing their old ham radio. My podcast comes up with for some reason.
And the Germans are about to bomb as well, so they've got a lot of issues going on.
I don't think I understand that.
Well, ham radio, I figured you were doing an older joke, and I took it back to the 40s. So maybe we could edit that out.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Editing's hard, and I'm lazy, as you can tell, listening to the podcasts before.
All right. Back on track.
All right. This should be really familiar to most people listening. I think most kids in our generation had youth time jobs. I worked at a pizza place down in Norman when I got my driver's license. But before it all started, my professional career, I had a paper route.
A paper route. I think I'm one of the few people that made it through life without a paper route. I had to fill in for my buddy a couple times, and that involved getting up at 4 or something. And I was like, I'm not doing this. This is not for me.
It's akin to being a chimney sweep, one of those orphans in London. It may not be that bad.
Did you dance like Dick Van Dyke when you were delivering your papers?
Yes.
So
I don't think it, like you mentioned, I don't think it makes me unique by any means. I think there are probably more paper routes than there were kids in America at some point. So the town paper in Moore, Oklahoma was called the Moore Monitor back when I was paper route age, which, by the way, I don't think there's a paper route age. Like when I was in college, there was this old wino that drove a convertible. They would just fling him out of his car.
Nice.
So I don't know that stayed a kid's job. So anyway, I called the More Monitor's office, and that number rings to another local paper, the Norman Transcript. And so obviously it was purchased at one time. And there was no big deal about it because they were unaware that the number even rings to them. So it's out of business now.
They don't even know that they no longer exist?
They don't know that it ever existed. The person I talked to seemed unimpressed with any of my queries into the paper. And that's weird because you would think it would stay in business just for the important, people want to know what the school lunch menus are that week and if there's any lost dogs.
Yeah, super important.
Banner headlines, Brave Boy Saves Cat.
Or if Uncle Ralph got picked up again for driving
Right.
while intoxicated.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that. Yeah. You
Now,
know, you gotta
what level of involvement did your parents have in your paper route? Did your dad have to wake you up and go to the paper place, or were you 100% autonomous on this?
I would like to say I was 100% autonomous. I was not. It's yeah. Let me get to that here in a minute.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's a great question, and you'll have questions about that, I'm pretty sure. So I was excited to get the paper route. We lived in the north part of Moore at this time. We moved out of the house that we moved to when we first moved to Oklahoma. It was on the south side of town, which that's not at all relevant. So the route was in my own neighborhood. I remember the lady from the newspaper that she came and brought a stack of papers, and she sat down at my dining room table and showed me very intricately how to fold these things. By the way, I was talking to my buddy Jed recently. He works with geriatrics, and so they all get newspapers.
Of course they do.
He brought one to the house, and if you wondered whether or not I still have it, I folded that dude the way it should be hurled off of a Huffy bicycle, and it's tight. It's like a drumstick. So I've still got it.
You know, what about Sundays?
What about Sundays?
Well, where I came from, the Sunday paper was always thicker and bigger than the regular weekly. So I was just
that's
wondering.
the big time. That's the big time,
Okay.
my man. That's the Daily and Sunday Oklahoman.
Got it.
I threw a paper for a weekly newspaper that came out in Moore, and like I said, you know, that it wasn't. There was no movie ripped from the headlines of the Moore American.
Wait, so you're telling me this was only one time a week?
One time a week.
Oh God! All right.
All
Okay,
right,
keep going.
Back to the gripping story. She sat at the dining room table and showed me how to fold these. And like any kind of job I've ever had, we've worked together in a professional setting. I started daydreaming. It was my very first work meeting. And I don't know how many thousands of these I've had to endure in my professional career. So I'm doing what I do at work meetings. I start daydreaming. I'm thinking about football and my bike, and I'm not really paying attention to how to fold the papers. Let me just say it. This will be important later. She shows me how to do it. She doubles it over and rolls it up real tight, puts a rubber band around it, and easy as pie. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, okay. So I think it was a Wednesday morning when these things were delivered to my house, if I remember right. Not sure. It could have been Tuesday, possibly Thursday, Monday. Certainly not Sunday. That was the Daily Oklahoman.
Yes.
Possibly though Friday. I don't remember. So she showed us how to fold it because my mom would stick her head in there every once in a while, just making sure, you know, everything's going okay. And so she got a map out and showed me the paper route in exactly where I go. There's a circle. I lived in a cul-de-sac. And so you'd go out the cul-de-sac and turn left on my bike. And then you go up another street and wind toward my elementary school, back up to a street called Nell Parkway. And there was a long street that went all the way up to 27th Street. Well, after a curve. And let's see. There was a huge Baptist church across the street from that, but it wasn't there at the time. So once again, background that doesn't matter.
Ooh, yeah. Did they give you a bag? That's what's important.
They did. They gave me a big gray canvas bag stained with the ink of important stories of northern Cleveland County.
And the sweat of the 13-year-old boy that had it before.
The blood, tears. So I remember the first morning I was so excited, man, because I had a job. I went to, I think, was I at the middle school yet? I might have been elementary. Yes, I was. So I take the bus. I get up early and get all the papers folded. But I didn't remember how to fold them, you know, because it was a work meeting and they suck. And so I wasn't paying attention. So I just kind of rolled them up poster style.
Those throw better.
No, you would think they do. They do not.
Oh, okay.
So I rolled them up kind of poster style. My sister, she used to roll papers back in that era as well. It was just different.
We're talking newspapers, right?
Right. So that was no help.
Yeah.
And so I rolled these things up, rubber band around them, and they were just tubes at this point. They were not properly folded newspapers. And those didn't fly out of my paperboy bag. They just, it'd hang it from my handlebars. And most of them wound up like rolling down the sidewalk. Or that Oklahoma wind, I'd throw it and it would just like land in the neighbor's yard. You got a paper today, sir.
And old people, they want their paper the same way every time.
Eduardo, you have no idea. If you grew up when we did, chances are your best memories are sitting on a VHS tape somewhere. Birthday parties, family reunions, even that first camcorder Christmas morning. But those tapes don't last forever. That's where the Digitize Center comes in. They convert your old VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, reel-to-reels, photos, slides, smoke signals into high-quality digital files, so you can actually watch them again and again and share them with the people who matter. Don't let those moments fade away in a box in the attic. Not the people, the milestones, not the memories. Head over to thedigitizecenter.com, check out thousands of 5-star reviews, and make the call to preserve your story. Use promo code FREENIGHTS for 60% off your order. That's FREENIGHTS for 60% off. Bring those memories back to life before they're gone for good. It was tedious. It was like rolled up blueprints, these papers. And so I had to go back to the house to get my second bundle because they all wouldn't fit in my huge canvas bag. Because I had them folded like a dork, like I had just bought, the Cheryl Tiegs poster at Spencer's. And I had a bag full of them. And so I started at imagine, like you suggested, I started getting complaints. So the newspaper lady called the house that night. My manager, she said, "Hey, Scott, got a few complaints about the delivery, your inaugural delivery. It didn't go well, did it?" And I said, "I forgot how to fold them."
Oh, God.
And they don't throw very far like you said they would. So I just, I told her I just drove up the driveway and put them on the porch sometimes. And that's hard and I'm lazy. Like I mentioned earlier about the editing.
Yes.
But I found a different way to do it. So I just started throwing them. And so they would fly like straight up like an airplane and come right back down. Or just like I said earlier, the Oklahoma wind would just roll them into the gutter. So that the first week was rough. She said, well, it's okay. Like through gritted teeth. She was so patient, but her job was to manage a bunch of 12-year-old kids on bicycles. So she needed to be patient. She said, why don't you bring your mom by the office and we'll go over it again. I'll show you how to fold it. We'll set expectations for the job. And me not knowing what set expectations means truly in the business sense, like not knowing I was about to get my first PIP at 11.
Yeah. Well, you deserved it.
I did. So we went. They were very serious about their $40 a week paperboys. So I'm there with another couple of imbeciles that went to different schools. So I didn't know who they were. And we all didn't know we were in trouble for the crap job that we did. So we sat there. We learned the fundamentals of rolling a newspaper, which I could have learned at my dining room table. But again, work meeting. I'm not going to pay attention.
Were you paying attention in this meeting?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Because
and your mom was there too?
Mom was in the lobby with the other bored moms of stupid children that just will not learn the first time. So I got it down. You fold the paper over, then you roll it up real tight, put a rubber band around it, and that thing will fly.
Got it.
So I know what to do. Well, so we went into logistics after that. And I missed about half the houses too, by the way, on my first week. She said,
the only thing worse than getting a paper that's not folded right is not getting a paper at all.
That's a good point.
You suck.
Where are my Buchanan's coupons, Scott?
Yes.
I'm going to pay full price for cheese.
You know, they must have been desperate because they probably should have just known after the first week that you just weren't cut out for this.
Well, again, they're managing a bunch of 11 and 12-year-olds. So I think the fact that any paper at all got delivered, but I got what's that?
So you've twisted this to the fact that it's not that they didn't get their papers. They should be delighted when they do get their papers.
Absolutely
Considering the source of who's delivering it.
Overjoyed.
Got it.
That kid with the Aerosmith concert shirt with the hole in it and a backwards Atlanta Braves ball cap got them a newspaper at all.
Oh, okay.
So again, I missed half the houses, so I'll take another stab the next week. Tuesday or Thursday or again, I don't know. They brought the papers back and there were 2 bundles every week. And so if I got up early, I snap the ribbon on the thing and start rolling them before school. I think that next morning I got a pep talk from Dad and I rolled them up. And my dad helped me that morning. It was like 5:30 in the morning. And he said, "You ready to go?" So yeah, I think so. But he wasn't real keen on me getting out at 5:30 in the morning on my bike before school. It was dark.
So he drove you?
No, Lord, no. The very thought of the Mick driving me, like, no. So I hit the bus, and when I get home that day, throw the Braves cap on, and because people need to know when the Scholastic book fairs are and when it's Tater Tot Day at school. So it's a big deal. I get them all loaded up, and I'm thinking about it at school all day. And on the bus ride home, I'm a working man. I had some problems last week. I got this. I could do this. So I hop on the bike, and I'm holding the steering. I'm holding the handlebars, and I'm kind of wobbly. And so I get them delivered. I got this rhythm. I'm shooting like shortstop flips over second base. I'm hitting all the driveways.
Let me interrupt. Where are the papers supposed to go? It's front porch or is it driveway?
She said, I need to, and this is where it's their fault. She said, you need to attempt to porch every paper.
You need to attempt to porch. That's nebulous.
Very Bill Clinton-like. What is your definition of is, newspaper lady?
Yes. Okay.
With
attempt to porch. Okay.
So I'm riding my bike, and some of my buddies are out there riding next to me. He's like, "What's up, paper boy?" Like, okay, fellas.
Of course they are.
I'm working. I'm very important here. This is, I show them my press pass. I have the right of way. So I'm riding bikes. I'm delivering papers. And this is my second time out. It's mostly to the wrong addresses, almost exclusively the wrong addresses. So then I get a call, and it's her. She says, "Scott, where are you delivering these papers?" And I described the streets. I don't know. She was like a city planner or what, but the girl knew the neighborhoods like the back of her hand. She said, "That's not your route." And it's me. It's around my neighborhood. So she said, "That's Jimmy's route." I don't know who Jimmy. I don't know who Jimmy is, by the way. I still don't know.
Okay, let me take a step back. What time are when are these people? Because old people are creatures of habit, and they want stuff the same time, exactly when it's supposed to be there. So what was the expectation as when these papers were supposed to be delivered?
Early evening.
Early evening. Okay.
So you give me time to get home from school, do my social studies homework, watch the Brady Bunch, chug down some cereal, and get on my bike and go to work.
Nice.
So here's the deal. She said, "Scott, I gave you the map." And so I got the map out, and I said, "I'm looking at it." And again, I'm not belligerent. I'm a kid. I'm respectful. I think I know I'm in trouble now. And she said, "Well, where do you start?" And I told her. And she said, "Scott, turn the map over and tell me what you see." And I see a red marker across some other streets in my neighborhood. And she said, "Now turn that map back over. What do you see across the entire map?" "A big X." And she said, "Yeah, I X'd out the one. That means no. These are double-sided, just so we can say we can print just a few of these and give them out to the kids." And she said, so I didn't figure out the X, by myself. She said, "It's all right. That's my fault." She said that's my fault because it's easier.
That is her fault.
Right. I gave you a map. she said, I drove through the neighborhood and the houses that had 2 papers in the driveway, they were both properly folded. So I know you're doing that right.
Oh, God. That's a backhanded compliment there.
Yeah. She said, did you notice that some of these houses had a paper on the porch already? And well, not really, because I'm not hitting the porch. What do you say? Yeah, I just thought they were like newspaper enthusiasts. They wanted double coupons for Sonic.
They were on vacation. They weren't home last week.
Right. So I was a terrible paper boy. I did get better, though. I got better. I started delivering by like week 4 or 5. I got my route down.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. Finally. I got the folding system down. I got my mom and dad to take me to the mall and to Sears, and I bought myself, I couldn't afford a Walkman on my salary. Those were crazy expensive back then. So I got an AM radio that was shaped like a Walkman, which means it was needlessly large for an AM radio. Those little transistor radios in the 60s would fit in your shirt pocket. This one was obnoxiously big. I think they wanted it to look like a Walkman, but remember, it was $10. I got it at Sears, and I was so excited. But, it was the mid-'80s in Oklahoma, so there was no real political commentary yet. Limbaugh hadn't been around. So FM...
headphones came with it, too?
Yeah, big...
Okay,
not big headphones. The Walkman headphones with the foam that went over the wire.
Yes.
So there was a pretty prominent rock station in Oklahoma City that still had an AM presence back then. They called it the Cat. They're 100.5 on FM. But back then they had an AM station. It was staticky and crackly, but if you squint, you could make out that it was Zeppelin. So I'm listening to, WKY's Ag Report. And then, pork belly stuff on my AM radio. And I had my headphones on with those, like I said, those earphones. And I'm balancing my bag of papers and I'm trucking it down the street. And I'm fiddling with that thing, trying to get a non-staticky anybody to talk to me. And I'm not paying attention. And I crashed my bike and papers all over the street, right in front of Casey Gramont's house. Casey, she was this really sweet, frankly, brilliant girl in my 6th grade class. And it was just so humiliating to crash my bike in front of her house. I think it was her mom that came out. Somebody did. I don't know if Casey had I think she did have an older sister, but I never met her. She may not have been there. Anyway, I bite it right there in front of her house. Skint elbows. My radio slid. And there's this creek. Casey lived in a house and there was a creek. If you're looking at it from the street, there's a creek to the right side of her house. My radio unplugged and slid while doing circles all the way over to the bank there where it was like teetering on falling in. It didn't have a sewer grate as I remembered. It just had an open spot there to fall into the creek.
Did it go in?
No, it was perilously hanging off the edge. Her mom comes out. I think it's her mom again. I get on my bike. Some of the papers get dirty. Put them all back in the bag and pedal away embarrassed. After I got my radio, it didn't work again, by the way. It barely worked before then. It had those 9-volt batteries that you plugged in. So I finished my route. The rest of the day is kind of uneventful, thank God. So go on vacation that summer. And every summer we take a trip. We would go back to Dixie, my grandparents in Mississippi. I told that story on an earlier episode. And we're at my Uncle John's Catfish Pond. We're in the back of the tailgate of a station wagon driving back from the pond. And I guess we took that because all the fishing supplies and stuff, because you could easily walk out there. We're coming back to, fry up the catch.
Now, I'm trying to make the correlation between your family trip to Mississippi and your paper route.
Everybody listening is.
Oh, okay. So I'm not alone.
Right. So
okay.
So I'm on the back of the tailgate, and we're going through this cow pasture, kind of, over by a grove of pine trees. And I jump out of the car and roll like Bo and Luke Duke. I mean, why wouldn't I? I'm 11 or 12 years old. Like, so I'm going to run back to the house after that. Well, I broke my arm. And so I'm like, am I going to be Wally pipped? Is somebody else going to get my job? Are my days in industry over? So I'll go back and get the newspapers. The second, I can't fold these newspapers in my giant cast. And I certainly can't pedal and steer my bike and throw the papers. I broke my right arm. So that's my business arm. That's my throwing arm. So mom says, look, I'll take you in the car. We'll deliver it from the car in a couple of weeks. So my mom's driving and we have this big bag between us and my right arm's broken. So I can't throw them. So essentially my mom's delivering the papers for me.
Yeah.
Well, she's just beating the hell out of the inside of the car every time she's slinging a paper. So she's essentially just beating the interior and just maniacally flinging those papers out. And she'd smash the window and hit the rear view mirrors every time from inside while she's driving from inside the door. Boom. Actually, damn it.
What was your mom, a cursing woman?
Boy, that day she was.
Oh gosh.
She didn't need me. I didn't even need to be there. I couldn't do anything, but I suppose I could have been behind her and thrown the seats with my left hand. Was what I should have been doing.
Thinking. Yeah.
But we weren't rope rights. So we're throwing the papers. Well, mom's throwing the papers. And she hits the curb where I crashed my bike in front of Casey Gramont's house. So, didn't fall far from the tree. There was a curb where it went off to the part where it went down. So while there wasn't an actual curve there, mom, I don't know. I'm beginning to think it's like a miniature Bermuda Triangle in front of her house.
Yeah, we don't talk about the Bermuda Triangle enough anymore either. I mean, when I was a kid, there was two things we always talked about: Bermuda Triangle and quicksand. Do we talk about either of those things anymore? No.
Bigfoot.
What happened?
Bigfoot was a big threat too.
Well, Bigfoot, they're still talking about Bigfoot.
That's
you got
true.
whole channels on that.
That's a good point. When I was a kid, I thought there would be a pretty sizable danger of just running into quicksand in life.
Yes. Yeah.
Like walking through the mall parking lot. Hey, stay away from there. And there's a guy swinging across it on a vine, saving a lady. Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't have that happen. So anyway, mom knocked the dang car out of alignment just in front of Casey's house because there was a mini version of the Bermuda Triangle in front of her house. I don't know how they ever got deliveries or anything. So we kept going. Now that lasted about 2 or 3 weeks. Mom said, to hell with this. We're not doing this anymore. And I think I had to quit my job. That was my first foray into it. So there's a good side note here. When I was driving, I was probably 16 or 17 at this point. The neighborhood had changed some. And we were still in the same house, but luckily Casey had moved out of that damned area.
The Bermuda Triangle of more.
Yeah. So if you had turned left out of the circle where I lived, you would go towards my elementary school, and there's Casey by the creek. Well, she had moved, and if you turn right out of that circle and then eventually left, there's Casey's house. Same neighborhood. But she lived on the exact same creek that wound through the neighborhood. But instead of living as you looked at her house from the street, the creek was on the right side. Now it's on the left side, which I don't know if Dad was an avid crawdad fisherman or what. I don't know what made them do that. But I'm in my truck one day, and I'd gone to Texaco and bought my Texacos for those outside of Oklahoma. Texaco was gas station joint. They're all over Texas and Oklahoma and the South Central Plains. I don't know if they were East or West Coast. Did you have them in Ohio?
Yeah, we sure did.
Oh, well, never mind. The good guys always wear the star.
Oh, always wear the star.
So I'm in my truck, and I'd gone to Texaco to get some snuff. I don't know, it was like Skull or Copenhagen or something, because I was going to start dipping. I was going to be one of those dudes. I threw the can away on the second dip, by the way.
Wait, you were 16? They sold it to you at 16?
I don't know how I got it. I got it from Texaco. I was probably
I'm sure
17.
they probably didn't care.
I was probably 17. I was enormous, dude. I was 6'2" and as wide as the door. I just thought, well, this guy, he probably needs some tobacco. So I'm in my truck and I got a big, what do you call them? Dip? What is a dip?
Yeah, it's dip.
I had a big dip in my mouth. I was gonna be one of those dudes that's always spitting and like running his fingers through his mullet and saying, I can do it. Like, any kind of stupid thing happening.
Yeah.
That was gonna be me.
Hey, watch this.
That was short lived because I swallowed it. And
Oh,
I was sick as a dog and the world's kind of spinning. So anyway,
yeah.
I'm trucking, I'm going somewhere. And it's kind of wobbly. And I'm turning up Casey Gramont's road. And I smash into Casey Gramont's dad's truck.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
did you admit it? Did you go in and tell him?
Dude, hand to God, this happened. It caved in my front bumper. My Georgia Bulldog tag got crushed. I got it and looked at it. And I'm standing there on the street. It's dark. And I see their door open. And I would not have left. Casey was a friend. And so Casey's dad comes out this time. It's the dad. It's not the mom. And he's looking
Or
at
the
his
sister.
truck. And he kneels down and says, well, you didn't do a thing to it, young man. And he looks over at my truck, the caved in bumper. And he said, boy, they don't make them like they used to. I think it was like a 60s model Chevy, if I remember right. It got bigger and bigger and bigger as I got towards it. So I had a good view of it. And I just felt like I need to find a hole to climb into. Because and I don't remember if Casey came out or not. It was at night, probably weekend, so she probably had something better to do than hang at home. So I don't remember. But
I'm trying to figure out right now if this podcast is about your paper route or about Casey.
Dude, it's about my paper route. But a funny aside, I smashed in front of her house. My mom hit the curb and knocked that car out of alignment in front of her house. She moves, and I think, good. So I'm driving, paper route's way in the rearview mirror at this point, and I've found a way to crash in front of her house again, unpaper route related.
And what's the lesson?
Well, I don't claim a lesson. I've talked to Casey several times. She's a buddy of mine, and her husband, who is a wizard of a woodworker. I'll link his Facebook page to this episode. The dude could, he's unreal. I'll show you his page. So I told her when I get back to Oklahoma, we'll go to dinner one night. But what I didn't tell her is there is absolutely no way I'm going to go to her house wherever she lives. I'll fall into a hole or something. That's not, we can meet. She said we can go to the Mont. She'd buy me a pretty famous drink they have there. It's a restaurant in Norman. I'll go. Yeah. I'll drink that swirl. I'll talk about school. I shan't be going to her house.
No, that place is cursed.
No way. I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how they get deliveries. I don't know how, there's something going on with her. I don't know if it happens. I don't know if it happens now since she has a different last name and she doesn't live in Moore anymore, but I don't know. I'm not going to find out.
It's probably one of those generational curses that's going to follow her for the rest of her life.
I hope not. Sweet girl. I hope that doesn't happen. So here's the deal. When I had to quit because of my broken arm and my mom's unwillingness to be a paper boy,
I'm going to bet that the newspaper place actually, remember in the movie Ace Ventura 2, when Ace says that he's no longer going to be a monk and they all throw a party and they're going crazy and going nuts and throwing toilet paper and all that. I bet that's what happened at the newspaper place.
Well, I don't know what happened. I do know that for the next 2 weeks, they kept delivering me the papers.
Oh, they didn't get the message?
Well, I was very clear. Actually, Mary Faye was very clear. He's not doing this anymore.
He's done.
She's not going to, I'm not going to beat to death. I'm not going to pull the headliner out of my car with those newspapers, flailing them around like Tommy Lee.
I'm not spending $100 to get my alignment fixed so that my son can make $40.
Right. Actually, $40 every 2 weeks. It wasn't $80 a month, man.
Yeah.
So I guess it took a while to get through to them that I wasn't doing it. So I got 2 weeks delivery of 2 bundles of papers. So I called them and said, "Hey, you sent me these papers. What do I do with them? Do you want me to deliver them? Do I need to get these out?" And they already had another imbecile double delivering papers anyway at that time. So I'm sure everybody got their paper. So I don't know what made me do this, but there was a convenience store right next to I-35 called U-Totem. It became Circle K and it became some kind of local joint. And then it got blown away to its very slab in an F5 tornado. So it's not there anymore. But when it was still standing, I took those papers up there, balanced them on the bar on my bike. And the dude in the smock looked up. "Oh, hey, man." I says, "Howdy." And I said, I got some papers for you. I was going to let them have them. And he says, "How many you got?" "I don't know." I counted them and I put them in the rack there. And he hits the register button, ching, opens the drawer, hands me $12.
Oh, man.
I think, wait a minute.
Wait, I think I just found something out here.
Easier than delivering. I am delivering, but all at once. And I don't have to fold them. And so I said, "Yeah, this is just half of them." "Really?" "Yeah." "Oh, all right." He didn't care. And so I come back with the second bundle and throw them in the, it's not one of those machines that you pay to open. It's like one of those racks, those red
Yep.
wire racks at the store. So I lay the other bundle on top of it. And he says, "All right," cracks it open, hands me $12. So if I could have kept that gig, I would have done it.
Too little, too late.
Well, it is. And if newspapers were the least bit relevant now, I would try to get one of those. I try to work a deal like that now to, I don't know what's that?
When's the last time you actually spent money on a newspaper?
Hey, man, there's a Black Friday deal where the local paper will deliver for $1 a month on the Sunday paper and give you unlimited digital versions. So that answer is probably 10 days ago.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
I got my first Sunday paper.
2024.
I got my first Sunday paper last week, and it's about the size of a Moore monitor. So I guess it is full circle. And as for the moral here, as for the lesson learned, I don't know. Don't hire a 12-year-old.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Don't hire Scott to do important things for you that require instructions and listening skills.
Nope.
That was
probably.
Yeah.
It was going to be, don't hire a 12-year-old, but don't hire this 12-year-old.
Yeah. I was just narrowing it down a little bit there.
I don't know why that $10 AM radio from Sears didn't work any better than it did. I wish I still had it.
Good times. One paper route story, paper boy story before we go.
Yes.
Okay, so I did not have a paper route because I was is pansy. Can you say that word on this podcast?
I say that to you all the time.
Exactly. Anyway, I just wasn't, unlike you, I wasn't cut of the entrepreneurial cloth to go out and, kill something and bring it home to
You'd rather
distribute
be a ward of the state from your parents.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
But we did have a, going back to a previous podcast, the paper boy was also a bully. So whenever he would deliver a paper and I was in the yard, he would chase me down, put me in the yard in the grass, sit on my face, and then fart, and then throw the paper on the porch and then drive off.
Wow.
Yeah. That stopped when my dad came out and said, "You can't do that anymore."
You can't. He said, "You can't do that anymore."
Well, I don't remember the exact
and
words.
And the bully
that he
pulled
used.
out a notepad and said, "Eddie is off the list."
Yeah, okay. Thanks for making it official.
Ow. I was just wrecking my bike and skinning half of my skin off in front of Casey's house. I never thought to do that.
Yeah. Well,
did you people tip him at Christmas?
I listen. I don't know. I don't know if my parents tipped the paperboy or mailman or milkman or whoever showed up at our house back in those days. I don't recall.
Man, somebody should have tipped me with instructions on how to fold a newspaper.
That's awesome.
Here's your tip. Quit screwing up. Quit throwing this in the creek next to my house.
Quit spending $10 on crappy radios at the mall.
Those are the tips I would have appreciated, like life lessons. All right, we're done. Thanks, Eddie.
You got it.
All right, that's it. We did it. Episode 10 in the can. Again, as I mentioned towards the first of the episode, thank you so much for your continued listenership and support. The notes I've gotten, the few weirdos that leave phone messages on the number listed. You can find us on Facebook at Free Nights and Weekends. We're on X. We're starting to trickle some content on Instagram. Still haven't learned TikTok, but we'll get there maybe. Casey's husband, Todd Danker's carpentry page is linked on the show notes. And hey, slowpokes, get that Christmas shopping finished. We got bowl games coming up. It's such a great time of year. So thankful for everyone. See you next Friday.
4 weeks. 20 papers, that's $2 plus tip.
The show's over, and I don't know what to do with myself till next Friday.
You could spend hours making your own Free Nights and Weekends t-shirts and coffee mugs, but now there's a better way.
There's got to be a better way.
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh, I didn't know what that meant.
A quality industrial sewing machine could cost more than $20,000 probably. Would you pay $200 for a gorgeous Free Nights and Weekends magnet?
I would.
Probably.
I guess.
Not with this special offer, you won't. Follow the FNAW swag link on this player, and you'll spend a fraction of that on quality FNAW merchandise you crave. No more downloading sketchy copies of design software. No more blacking out with rage, trying to get the typeset all lined up perfectly. We do all that. Follow the link for the finest t-shirts, mugs, koozies, and tumblers, and support the show. Operators are standing by.